Hello, Miss Webster.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning, guys.
Miss Webster, I got a question.
Hold on. What's your question?
Be the last Zoom call?
Say it again.
Is this gonna be the last live Zoom call?
The last. Say it one more time.
Is this gonna be the last Zoom call?
No.
Okay.
No, you have Zoom till like June 12th.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah, we have Zoom till June 12th. So like we don't, this ends June 12th because the 13th starts our summer.
So when you guys go pick up your packets, you have a packet pickup today and tomorrow. Your packet pickup is a Eureka book. It may or may not have your name on it, but just take the book that they give you because the pages are still free that we're going to use in there. So they haven't been used
yet. Miss Webster?
Yes, ma'am.
When you say the packets, do you mean these packets?
Yes, you have a packet pickup today and tomorrow because this one ends this week. The one that you have in your hand, it goes till Friday. Okay? So which means you have to get another one. And they're giving them out today and tomorrow.
Miss Webster?
Yes.
Okay. Are the packets still available on Friday?
Like, who is that? Christian?
Yes.
I will call. I know somebody is at the school every day, but they usually leave about 3.
Okay.
Whoever it is, please mute your computer. Somebody's whistling in the background.
Well, my
We have about 3 more minutes before we get started.
Miss Webster. Miss Webster.
Yes.
When you mean by the packets for today and tomorrow, are those 2 separate packets, or is that the time that we have to get the packet?
It's the packet. When I say you're picking up a packet today or tomorrow, it's for next week. Because the packet you have in your hand right now, it ends on Friday. You know, like packet 1, packet 2. So that's packet 2. That makes sense?
Yes.
We have about 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. In the meantime, make sure you have your packets. One more minute and then we'll get started. Okay, this coming Friday, Friday is a normal day when you guys are just listening to recorded messages. So at 2:30 on Friday, tune in to Zoom and we'll send you a link to remind. It's going to be like just a fun time, just for you guys to say hey to a few people and also to give a few shout outs. So that's this Friday, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you have your packet in front of you. Make sure you have your pencil. And we're going to day 11.
You said at 2:30?
Yes, Friday.
Okay.
I mean, it's not mandatory. Meredith, please make sure that you're serious about what you're doing. Put your face in the computer. And please don't make me have to exit you. Because if I exit you, you'll have to watch the recorded. All right, so everybody, let's go to day 11.
Miss Webster, what did I do?
I say make sure your face, stop making faces and you're serious about what you're doing. All right, let's go to go to day 11 in your packet and let's get started. All right, so of course, our first problem is where did everybody go? Okay. All right, our first problem is it's an I do, and it's one that I have to do, so it reads, Eliza and Diane are making necklaces together. Eliza has 47 hundredths of a bag of beads. Diane has 2/10 of a bag of beads. Which number represents the fraction of a bag of beads they have together? Okay. So now today we're talking about decimals and fraction relationships. When we did this earlier in the year, you guys did pretty good with this. So again, this will be a review. The first thing we're going to do is underline our big question. I'll pause right there. You underline your big question in this problem. All right, so you should have underlined which number represents the fraction of a bag of beads they have all together. Now go inside the question and everybody cube what's going to help us to answer that question. Go back in the problem, cube it. All right, so you should have cubed 47 hundredths and 2/10. Now, if you remember when we were talking about decimals, we said decimals were like money. And one way to help us is to draw a place value chart. So we have our ones place, Then we have our decimal. And for this problem, we have tenths with a TH. Remember we talked about Daffy Duck? And hundredths with a TH. I'll pause right there and let you catch up. Is your hand up, Marcus? You have a question. Unmute yourself and
Yes, I have a question, and I was wondering what that little dot was.
I don't know
Oh,
what
never
dot
mind.
you're talking about. The decimal?
Yeah.
The
Oh, never mind.
decimal. It's your decimal. So this would be your ones place, decimal, tenths, and then hundredths with a TH.
And what's that?
Okay.
Behind
Hold
the
on. Let
hundred.
me get through the problem before you get to the questions. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So the first one we have is 47 hundredths. That's our first one we need to plot. And remember, just like we said, that last digit 47, the last digit 7 needs to be in the hundredths with a TH place. So we're going to plot 47 hundredths, decimal 47. So I'll stop right there and you do the same thing. And remember,
Yes.
Marcus, please mute yourself. And remember, 47 hundredths is the same thing as 47 cents. So equate decimals to money. So 47 hundredths is 47 cents because the tenths place is the same as dimes. The hundredths place is the same as pennies. So 47 hundredths is like saying 4 dimes and 7 pennies. So that gives us 47 hundredths. Our next fraction is 2 tenths. If I were to plot 2 tenths in my place value chart, it would be decimal 2. The 2 is in the tenths place. This reads 2 tenths. So the 2 needs to be only in the tenths place. 2 tenths as money is the same thing as 20 cents. So basically I have 47 cents plus 20 cents, which tells me that 2 tenths is the same thing as 20 hundredths. Same thing, same amount, because 2 dimes is the same thing as 20 pennies. Now go back to my big question. It says, which number represents the fraction of a bag of beads they have together? So box in together. And I know in this case that together means I'm going to add. So annotate by putting a plus sign under together. Let me see who's with me. All right, so add the two together. 47 hundredths, which is the same thing as 47 cents. 2 tenths is the same thing as 2 dimes, which is 20 cents. And when you add it together, you get 67 hundredths. And 67 hundredths written as a fraction looks like this. And as a decimal, it looks like this right here. I'll pause for a minute and let you get that. So go back over to our problem. And our answer choice should be B. Okay, let's go to the next problem. The next problem reads, Brad had the model below on his homework. Which decimal is less than the shaded area of the grid? Let's extend this page. All right, go ahead and cube this problem. Our big job is to figure out which decimal is less than the shaded area of the grid. So let's look at our grid. I know I have 10 rows going up and down here. I also know that I have, I'm sorry, that's 10 columns going up and down. So columns go up and down. And I also have 10 rows going across. So which gives me 10 by 10 gives me 100. So I know I'm dealing with hundredths here. So for this one, I'm dealing with hundredths. And remember with a TH because we're dealing with decimals. So we're dealing with hundredths. So when I go and I count how many hundredths do I have, I know each row is 10. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I have 60 hundredths. 60 hundredths. But my answer is in decimals. So I have to figure out 60 hundredths is the same as what when written as a decimal. So draw yourself a place value chart like we did above. And we're going to plot 60 hundredths. Decimal, 6 in the tenths place, 0 in the hundredths place. Now go back to your answer choices and see which one looks like that. It couldn't be A because A is 7/10. It couldn't be B because B is 67 hundredths. And I'm only looking for 60 hundredths. Let's go to C. C says 6/10. I have 6 in the tenths place, 0 in the hundredths place. So could C be my answer? Thumbs up if you think it is. Okay, I see a couple of thumbs up. You guys make sure you stay with me. I see people doing a lot of different stuff. All right, thumbs up. Your thumb should be up. 60 hundredths is the same thing as 6/10. Let me prove it. 6/10 is the same as 6 dimes. Remember, the tenths column represents your dimes, and the hundredths column represents the pennies. Okay, so 6 dimes is the same as 6/10 with 0 pennies. So the answer is C. Okay.
Miss Webster, that's wrong.
Who's talking? Oh, it says what? You're right.
It
Because it
says
says
less
what?
than.
Less
The
than. You're
standard
exactly right. So what's my answer?
D.
D. My answer is D. I'm sorry. You're right. My answer is D. Somebody on their toes. Because 59 cents is less than 60 cents, which would be 6/10. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Here's your answer choices. If you ever need to go back to look at the recorded, they're on there. Let's go to your next problem. All right, your next problem is a we do. And it reads, Nathan read 40 hundredths of a book one day, and he read 1/10 of the book the next day. Which expression shows fraction of the book Nathan has read? So we're only looking for an expression here that is the same as what's given in the problem. So go ahead and cube. I'll give you a few minutes to cube. See who looks like they're working hard. All right, so you should have underlined which expression shows the fraction of the book he's read. You should have circled 1/10. And you should have circled 40 hundredths. Y'all up.
Miss Webster,
Mm-hmm.
that says 3/10. It says 3/10.
It does say 3/10. I'm gonna change my view. I am really messing up today. Thank you. Let's turn this off. All right, now you can see it. 40 hundredths and 3/10. So as you can see, when you look at your answer choices, it's not there. So it's something you're going to have to do to one of the fractions. Raise your hand and tell me what you have to do to one of the fractions. Because this is what you have, 40 100ths plus 3/10. The answer choice isn't there. Meredith, unmute yourself and tell me what I need to do.
You need to like multiply the 10 times 10 and that gives you 100, and you do the 10 times 3 and it gives you 30 instead
You're
of
exactly right. So I need to multiply because when I add fractions, my denominators have to be the same. So 3/10, I have to make it into an equivalent fraction that has a denominator of 100. So like Meredith says, we must multiply the top and the bottom of 3/10 by 10 over 10. Good job, Meredith. All right, now who can tell me what 3/10 becomes? What's the equivalent fraction of 3/10? Trinity, unmute yourself.
30 hundredths.
All right, so this becomes 30 over 100 because 3 times 10 gives me 30 and 10 times 10 gives me 100. So now I can add these if I have to. But again, remember, I'm only looking for the expression that shows what's here. So now you have to look at your answer choices and figure out what looks like 41 hundredths plus 31 hundredths. And your answer should be, show me with your fingers. If you think A is the answer, put up one finger. 2 fingers for B, 3 fingers for C, 4 fingers for D. Okay, I see most of you have up 3 fingers. Zachariah, what you got? 3 fingers, good. You're exactly right. All right, let's go to the next problem. So your answer is C. Okay. Your next problem reads, Noah and Caleb made paper boats. The boats traveled downstream at different distances. Noah's boat traveled 4 9/100ths of a meters. Caleb's boat traveled 4 300 meters. Which statement is true? Go ahead and cube and treat this like money and it'll be real simple for you. Okay, you should have underlined which statement is true. Nehemiah, unmute yourself and tell me what you should have circled.
You should have circled 4 and 900 and 4 and 9.
Good job. So these 2 numbers should be circled. All right, so obviously we're going to compare these 2 numbers. So you're going to be doing some type of comparison. So you're going to compare 4 900ths compared to 4 300ths. Several ways I could do this. Tell me one way you could solve this problem easily. Peyton, what would you do? Unmute yourself.
The first thing I would do is look at my in my ones place
Mm-hmm.
and see if it's the is it even or if it's not even. And
Is it the same? Is it the same?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So
And
we find what?
we find both 4s, so they are the same.
Okay.
And then when we look inside our 10 place, the only thing we see are zeros, 2 zeros, and they're the same.
Good job.
And then in the 100th place, the 9 is bigger than the 3.
Mm-hmm.
So our answer would be 4. It would be for the decimal 9.
4 900ths. So read it. 4 900ths.
4 900ths is greater than 4 300ths.
Good job. Did somebody solve this a different way? Somebody else solve it a different way? Okay, Trinity, unmute yourself and tell us what you did.
I actually put it in a fraction. I put it 4 300ths, like with the big number.
Okay.
And then I did 4 900ths. And then that's how I compared them.
So like that?
Yeah. And then I compared them to see which one was bigger.
Good job. You could do it that way as well. Did anybody use it as money? So this could have been $4.09 compared to $4.03. Okay? So either way, lots of ways you could do this problem. So your answer for that is make sure your big part of your sign is towards the larger number. So your answer for that is letter what? C. That's what you should have. Okay. All right, let's go to your you do. Your first you do says Lim represented the decimal number 2800s by shading the model below. Then it says which number sentence correctly compares 2800 to another decimal number. Go ahead and cube. And work on that problem. So you do. Anybody have any questions about this problem?
Oh,
No.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Miss Webster,
Mm-hmm.
I have to go.
Okay. Any part that, who am I talking to?
Me, Janaya.
Denia. Any part that we miss, you know, you can always go to the recorded link. It'll be up
Yes,
in
ma'am.
probably a couple of hours. It has to convert and process and all that, but you can always
Yes,
go
ma'am.
back to the school website and get the recorded link, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Have a great day. Okay, let's go to the next problem. So you do. Again, you're finding the expression here like we did in one of the other last problems.
It is possible to raise. Principal said 3 times. Money of the money raised came from one game.
This problem is very similar to the one that Meredith told us how to solve.
Miss Webster, do we got a Kahoot quiz?
Yes.
Okay, I'm finished. Bye-bye.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye.
All right. Anybody have any questions about the next problem? I think that's it. You only had 2 you-dos, I think. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So please make sure you put your answers in your Kahoots. Make sure you put your name and only do your problems how many times? in Kahoots. How many times can you do Kahoots? One time.
Miss Webster.
Mm-hmm.
So on the rest of the Kahoots, we've been having it been on the rest. It been on the next page. So on the on this one, will it be on the next page or on the first page? What we just did.
When you say next page of what, baby?
The one we supposed to do day supposed to be doing day little
11?
day 12.
No, we're on day 11 today. So your Kahoots is on day 11. So what you
Okay.
just did for your you do is what you put in your Kahoots for today.
Yes, ma'am.
And then tomorrow you listen to the recorded for day 12.
Okay.
And then put your Kahoots for day 12.
Okay.
But make sure you listen to the recorded lesson first.
Okay.
Okay?
All
All right, y'all good?
Yeah.
Zachariah, you good?
I have a question.
Yes, Madison?
What are the other pages that are in the packet? Do we take them out and keep them for Friday, and then, or do we just leave them in the packet and complete them that?
Say it again, the other pages that are in the packet.
Do we rip them out for Friday, or do
Yes.
we just?
Yes. Yes. And you guys, if you don't turn this, listen to me. If you don't turn this packet in, it's okay because I have your answers in Kahoots. But if you turn the packet in, take out the rest of the week. Day 11, 12, take them out. All the way to 15. Okay? You really don't have to turn that packet in right now because you're still using it. But you do need to go pick up your new packet. Okay?
So you said today and tomorrow.
Yes,
Right.
8 to 3.
What? So, I'm gonna go do my cookie.
Oh, shoot.
Somebody had a question. You went in and out. Okay, are we good? Okay, guys, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Adios.
Have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Bye.